and I signed with the New York Jets. The ownership of the Jets, Mr. Werbler, Mr. Hess, those guys were just absolutely wonderful.
Werblin, being an entertainment man, coming out of the entertainment business, being the best agent in the business at the time with Music Corporation of America, was very publicity conscious.
Sports Illustrated had me take a picture standing on Broadway in the Jet uniform. We took that picture. I felt like a jerk standing out there 8 o'clock at night, Times Square, lights everywhere, buses going, traffic and all, and I'm standing there in a football uniform. It was like embarrassing. A couple of months later, when we come in from practice at Shea Stadium, sitting on the stools in front of our locker is that Sports Illustrated magazine with me on the cover on Broadway. Was sitting right across the locker room from me is the offensive line, and our senior on the team is an offensive tackle named Sherman Plunkett. He's looking at the magazine, and I'm looking over at him, and he looks up at me, and he smiles, and he says, "Oh, Broadway, Broadway Joe." And that was the first time ever. Coming from hearing it from Sherman, you know, that was pretty cool. But the veterans on the team didn't like seeing me on the cover of that Sports Illustrated magazine. I wasn't playing, I wasn't even starting at that time, man. I was a backup quarterback, and I didn't get to start until a few games later into the season.
Joe was an accepted star before he ever played his first game with the Jets. He was a star, but he had not performed. And then when they saw him on the field and the ability that he had and the way he carried himself, this guy, he was automatic. They just fell in love with him.
Things were so different back then. The players had so much more freedom. Our team, we didn't have to be at practice till noon every day. As long as I had my rest and got to practice at the right time, I enjoyed the nightlife in New York.
Joe was always noticeable. I mean, he just had a swagger about him. You know, there were people like that. You know, they have a radiance that's around them, you know, that kind of like, wow, they're a little different, you know. And he has that.
I was with Mr. Werblin, Mrs. Werblin, 3 nights of the week. He'd take me around to restaurants. He'd introduce me to people. He wanted me to be seen in New York. He knew the value of the star system. They wanted to sell tickets. He's the one that started this whole Broadway Joe and all that stuff. That was Mr. Werblin's work. In the 60s, I had my flowered pants on, man, and long hair and stuff, you know. I was right along with what was happening with the hippie scene. So maybe I was reaching to get recognition somehow in that way. But I liked styling. I liked the nice hats. I liked the nice clothes. Just let me do my thing, and I follow the rules. I followed the rules on our team, but away from that, let me be me.
I don't think he was a rebel. I think he was somebody who said, I can't live my life based on what other people's opinion of me is going to be, because I'm the guy who has to go out on the field and do what I do, and if I can't do that, they're not going to think anything of me.
Bottom line is I had to play, though. I had to be able to play. We kept getting better. In the 4th season, we put it all together. We won the AFL championship that year. There was a stretch of a couple of weeks between our AFL championship game against the Raiders and playing the championship game against the Colts. And during that time, we were 18-point underdogs. It was going to be a no contest kind of thing. That irritated me, that irritated us as players. A few nights before the game, I was at a dinner getting an award in Miami, and I go to the podium to say some words. A guy in the back of the room, he yells out, "Hey, Namath, we're gonna kick your, behind." I said, whoa, wait a minute. People, you've been talking for 2 weeks now. I got news for you, buddy. We're gonna win the game. I guarantee you.
If there was ever a moment of bravado for Joe, that was it. But he was challenged. Joe wouldn't say, "We're going to win the game." That wouldn't be something that just he'd come out with saying. But somebody said to him, "You're going to lose." And he knows in his heart, but we're as good as these guys.
Well, we won. Wow, that felt special. After the game, I got in a car with my friend Joe Hirsch. It was quiet. Joe didn't say a word, and I didn't say. I just sat there. We sat there, and then we started chuckling. We started laughing. We did it, yeah. We had won. After the Super Bowl win, things happened more with endorsements, with commercials, that kind of thing.
There were offers coming from everywhere. It was just endless. There was so much publicity, so much stuff. Nothing that we were trying to generate, because it just came. It was there. Everybody and his brother wanted a piece of that. He was becoming a giant celebrity.
As he became more and more famous, he became more and more humble. He kind of started taking things in stride, although he always appreciated where he was at in life. But now he's really looking at, wow, I've been blessed. I've been blessed. Yeah.
I realized how lucky I am. I wanted to help those that are less fortunate. It goes back to Beaver Falls. Started with Mom, Dad, trying to help out. They were teaching me to give back. My teammate, John Dockery, came to me in '71 and wanted to know if I would be interested in helping coach kids and having a football camp, using football, using the sport to teach the children about life. I owe so much to the guys that I lucked into as leaders, coaches in sports, and it hit home. We started the football camp and used football to teach the children not only how to play their individual positions out there, but to respect their teammates, how to own up to responsibilities that you have on the field as well as off the field, how to take care of yourself, what you have. It was an educational thing for the children, and we thrived on it as adults, as coaches. We loved it. We went to co-ed too. We had girls coming to camp and wanting to play football. Parents would come back year after year. Campers that had children would come back. We did it for 46 years. We had a wonderful run with the camp. We learned from it, and a whole lot of children learned from it.